In American society, money is a taboo topic. We're taught at a young age it's improper to talk about it, but we're also bombarded with messages about the power and importance of money in our everyday lives. And by not talking about it, we miss out on the skills and lessons we need to effectively understand and financially plan. That changes today. Welcome to Money Tales. Hosted by Sandy Brager and Cami Doder, Money Tales brings more than 35 years of combined professional experience in personal finance to demystify money and demonstrate what it's like to speak openly about personal financial matters. Join us each episode as they interview modern-day movers and shakers about how money decisions intertwine with their daily lives in order to give you better insight into productive financial conversations. Subscribe today and register for our blog Fathom at aspiriant.com/podcasts to increase your money mojo. And now, here's Cami and Sandy.
This week's Money Tales is about the power of discipline. Our guest is Maher Kaddoura. At just 13 years old, Maher embarked on a solo journey that would forever change his perspective on life and money. Traveling alone across international borders, taking buses and hitchhiking, Maher explored Turkey and Bulgaria. As the son of a refugee, Maher was no stranger to the survival instinct. From a young age, it was ingrained in him that he had to earn money for anything he wanted. Maher discovered that money earned through his own hard work and effort tasted much sweeter. He also learned that he had control over his choices. Maher believed that if he improved his decision-making process when it came to money, that would increase the chances of financial success and create a better future for himself. Let me tell you more about Maher. As a former managing partner at Accenture-Middle East and a seasoned entrepreneur, Maher has founded several firms that are leaders in their fields, from strategy consulting to system integration. Maher recently authored The Art of Leapfrogging, a book that encapsulates his innovative approach to bypassing traditional steps in problem solving and development to achieve accelerated results.
Here are 3 key money topics Maher hits on in this conversation. First, how fueling passion with discipline leads to achievement in money. Second, why it's more important to monitor how you're spending your seconds rather than your money. And third, how he's using his money to teach others, including teenagers, through hands-on experience how to become entrepreneurs and create value in the world. We hope you share this episode with a friend, and please subscribe to Money Tales on your favorite podcast platform. Now on to our conversation with Maher Kaddoura.
Welcome to the Money Tales podcast. I'm Cami Doder.
And I'm Sandy Brager.
Sandy, I had a really interesting money conversation with a friend of mine who is an executive coach. We got to talking about pricing her services. What got interesting was how she's at an inflection point with some of her clients because she's had success. She's, I'm not surprised, very talented human being. She's got some of her legacy clients that she built her business from on a lower pricing schedule than she has her current ones.
Ooh, what's she going to do about that?
She's intentional about it, which I appreciate. And she's so thankful of the clients that she began with. And she also is so passionate about what she's doing and really believes in the impact she can make. It's not just about maximizing dollars. And I loved her approach. So one of her clients is a woman who lives in New York City, very expensive. It would be a big stretch for her to pay her current rate. So she's made the choice that I want to keep working with this client. However, this client is changing jobs. And she said, well, why don't we use this as an opportunity to negotiate this into your compensation package for the new company?
Oh, brilliant.
To pay for executive coaching. Isn't that great?
That's really great. And I think you're bringing to life the idea of creativity and just being able to think about money situations and trying to find the win-win for everybody.
That's a great way to put it. It is creative and it supports what she believes with her heart and that she's got a business to run and a family to support.
Absolutely. What a great conversation, Cami.
It was very fun. And it was also done on the hills hiking, which is another great place to have a money conversation.
Yes, in nature. I love it.
Well, I get the pleasure to welcome our Money Tales guest today, Maher Kaddoura. It is a pleasure to be speaking with you on Money Tales.
Thank you.
Maher, would you introduce yourself, maybe share where you're talking to us from? And in your introduction, would you share a couple pivotal moments that have happened in your life that really influenced who you are?
I am Maher Kaddoura. I am calling out from Amman, Jordan. And there are two major milestones in my life. The first one is when I traveled for the first time on my own. I was 13 years old, and I ended up traveling to Turkey and Bulgaria at the time on my own, using buses and hitchhiking. And this changed me forever when I realized I can do things on my own. I can survive it. I can learn from it. And above all, I enjoy that adventure. So since that young age, I love travel and adventure, and I continued. The second one, which is a bit emotional, when I lost my 17-year-old son, and I realized that life cannot be taken for granted. You need to embrace it, celebrate it, enjoy, value, because God gives us every day 86,400 seconds per day. It's what we do with them. Do we decide to waste them on things that will put us down, or stuff that we can show off with in a negative way or superficial way, or they are purposeful because we invest them in our happiness, in our growth, in changing and supporting the environment around us, the people we love? Because the funny thing, and maybe the sad thing, that the second that we spend, we never get back. Just imagine, we never get back. So they are precious seconds that we need to value and value every moment. These are the two major milestones in my life.
Very important, and I'm very sorry about your son.
Thank you.
Maher, would you tell us a little bit more? You're 13 years old. You're going on this amazing adventure, buses and transportation and housing that costs money. How did you pay for this amazing trip? Did you have to do it yourself? Was it a gift?
No, of course not. Because remember, I am the son of a refugee, a Palestinian refugee, and we have always had that survival instinct that you have to survive in a different country. So money was important. It's not only money for you to grow, but to survive. So to me, it was planted in me that you have to earn it. So when I was young, I decided I want to travel. I ended up collecting my mother's old stuff and my aunt's old stuff, and I started selling them. And I realized that I can make more money if I'd sell them direct to people rather than to shops.
You took out the middleman.
Yes, cut out the middleman and sit there, show them, display them, and start keeping the middleman margin to myself. This has changed my money manners, my money mindset. I realized that, first of all, money that you earn with your own hands and effort tastes much better. The things you do with it, you value them more and you enjoy them more, even if you end up failing in spending that amount of money. But it has different taste. So was very important, and it continued my entrepreneurial journey of how to make money, how to smell where is money, what will make more money, where to go for money. And this is where I realized I also have control over my choices. So it's very important to me, the decision-making process when it comes to money, because I realized that by improving the way I decide, I can increase my chances of making more money. So I took an interest in entrepreneurship, in studying decision making, market analysis, living my target customers' personas to resonate more with the market and the people who will pay me. I introduced art and science into my entrepreneurial journey. I know it sounds cliche, but no, I said it's important because if you look at all my emails, I say passion inspires, only discipline delivers. So I know I am passionate entrepreneur, but I needed to ground it with discipline because discipline is very important. And this is what I tell and I share my story with other lots of young people. I stress on discipline, especially when it's fueling that passion. I don't want to fuel passion with passion. I want to fuel passion with discipline because this is where you get more achievements. So this is very important to me when it comes to money. The other item, the other important one, is when we took Accenture public. I joined Accenture or Anderson Consulting at a younger age, and I became a very young, successful partner in Accenture. And then we took it public, and we made lots of money by taking it public and also increasing the value of Accenture. And I saw and I realized another item here is not only focus on making money, focus on creating value. Because ultimately, you can convert this value to money. So if you look at it, this came my focus on balancing short term with long term, micro focus or look out or look in, looking in a microscope or a telescope. And this is where I ended up with working on all my investments, the companies I worked on, is to have that balance between value creation and the fundamentals of ensuring you generate enough cash to pay for the bills, profits, the pricing, the margins, where to invest, where to go. And this is where it's very important in business to balance these two together.
Maher, this is a really interesting evolution of your life and your relationship and perspectives on money. I want to pause our conversation for just a moment and point out some of the language you've been using, because you've used language that we usually associate with money, how we spend, how we invest. But rather than talking about money, you're talking about time. You said, let's invest our time in growth. We spend our time in seconds. But then when you pivoted and talked about money, you were using metaphors related to food. You talked about the taste and the smell of money. I just wanted to point that out because I think it's very interesting. And I'm wondering, given this evolution that you've gone through to start as an on the street entrepreneur, hawking goods to individuals, to a consulting professional who's creating a lot of value and delivering that to clients and translating that into growth, how has your relationship with money for yourself personally changed over that time? In the beginning, you said it was about survival. And as you get into the conversation about taking Accenture public, it sounds like there was a lot more money coming in and that you were well beyond survival. Tell us about that relationship shift for you.
As you mature, as you have more money, you start leveraging the resources that you have for the purpose that you live. Remember, we were not born when you are born, you have a purpose. You discover it through what you do and you find it. And to me, at a younger age, I realized that time is important. What I do and how I do it is important. Life is not short if I do things that I love with people I love. So money came in to help me achieve more of this. So I ended up spending more money on travel, adventure, more money on helping others explore, experience, whether it's a new idea, new business, a new education, because I tried all the time to create meaning for it. I care about money. I love money. I love money for what it can help me achieve. Not because I can buy a new shoes, I can fly first class, I can go and stay in a hotel. No, I like what it can give me to help others. Because through money, by the way, I realized what is my true life purpose, which is helping others change to become more successful at work and in life. Money, it's to help me achieve my purpose. So it has meaning. When I spend it, I have value for it. I have value when I paid money to trek up to Everest Base Camp, to raise money for cancer, because I had the resources to go up to Everest Base Camp, but not only because I want to go on an adventure and tell everybody, no, because we raise money for our cancer hospital here in Amman. So all the time, I tried to link this together. During COVID, we had time to think, to reset. Because after my son died, I focused a lot on Jordan. I used to be very global. After died, I started working on road safety because he died through hit and run. I expanded our family NGO. So I was focusing only on Jordan. But during COVID, I realized that I can have a global impact. Money fueled my ambition to have a global impact. So I invested time and money and resources to publish a book about the art of leapfrogging. I interviewed 30 people from around the world. Money gives me this to bring in a company to help me with this. I love Southeast Asia, so I am on the advisory council of the National University of Singapore. I meet lots of interesting people. My global intellectual thinking, money helps me scale it, expand the impact. This is how I look at money. Of course, I can buy stuff and travel, but it has limit. How many meals I can eat per day? How many shoes I can buy or cars? There's a bigger and more meaningful circle outside buying things. If you want to limit it to things, no. But if you have goals bigger than you, and this is what I say, self-worth generates net worth. Because if you don't have self-worth, the net worth has no meaning.
It's a very astute observation. There are many people in this world who define their self-worth from their net worth, which is the opposite of what you're saying. And I'm curious, Maher, because you've mentioned just amazing things and how money is helping you fuel good in the world. As you reflect back on your life so far, what's the most important thing that you've used money to achieve?
Impacting people, helping young people realize their potential, realize their dreams, giving them opportunities to study, giving them opportunity to build a character through programs, through experiences. Because the same way I went through and I realized that I love entrepreneurship, it was through an experience. So I have programs. I give money to young people to start their own business when they are at school. I train them on how to start it, and I give them $300 to start a school business. And guess what? In 2019, we had nearly 650 startups inside public schools. I work with public schools only.
College level schools?
Grade 10 and 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, young, because you need to catch them young and beautiful when they are young. They go to university, It's a bit, no, I catch them when they are,
Moldable.
yes. So I give them this, and think about it. In 2019, 650 schools, they made $500,000 of profits through their companies. And my condition was 70% of the money you take so you can taste money, and 30% you spend to improve your school. I am planting in them that when you get money, it's not only for you, it's for the community as well. And at a younger age. So this, it's fulfilling.
Oh, Maher, that is amazing. So you help people realize their dreams and achieve success. Some of that success is financial. Tell us more about how you fuel passion with discipline. How do you coach and encourage people to have both? Because it's a hard balance. Your passion can take control, but you do have to have discipline to achieve that.
Remember, I'm a consultant, so I have to have frameworks. Consultants cannot live without frameworks and models. So to me, it's three things. One is my programs I do with younger people. When I show them that you have money, these $300, you have to pay it back to the school fund. And I take them through a training program, call it project-based training program, and they go and live and they make money and they lose money. But they see that if you don't grit, if you don't put effort, you don't go after the customer, you don't stand there having your product to sell it to the customer, you don't go out there and try to manufacture it and get a smaller price for the raw materials. It's what you do and how you do it. So this is discipline. I heard you talk about pricing. Pricing is a driver of many things. So they learn this. If I go and get this material from that shop, it's much better. So it's important, the discipline of executing on a process. And they see the result, because remember, young people, they don't have this long-term view, but then they see the result of their actions, and they see others who are not disciplined. They just fire after passion. We want to sell, and they ended up losing money. But if they think and they do stuff in the right way, they see the result of it. And the result of it is discipline. The second item, I have also formal training programs for entrepreneurs that I support through my foundation. Whether maybe you have heard of it, Endeavor. Endeavor is a program to scale up high impact entrepreneurs. You cannot scale up if you don't have discipline. You cannot scale up if you cannot build the technology right, the teaming, the go-to-market, the product management. All of this is very sophisticated. It's not achieved only by passion. It's achieved by discipline, understanding best practices. The third way I do it, through these media, I tell my story and how discipline was in my life, in making money, in adventure, in going up to Everest, writing books, my NGO, my success at Accenture, my success in developing others. I have my own leadership school. I named it after my son, Hikmat Leadership, I call it. And I teach them and they learn my school of leadership, that purpose-driven, the mindset, the practices, the attitudes, the behaviors, and what are the vital skills that you need to maintain. So it's very important. And all of this is fueled with the idea of sustainability. Discipline is about sustainability. The ability to sustain is ability to stay the course, the ability to find reasons to jump out of bed in the morning, to do sometimes more of the same. But this is discipline, more of the same. It's like you are on the treadmill. Of course, it's tiring, but you need to find ways to convince yourself to continue, whether it's your goal, your competitiveness, but it is that you continue, you keep on running, and you can turn it into fun. I use this trick. I loved it because in the book, Many Habits, If you are on the treadmill and you want to run 7 kilometers, you don't start by focusing on the 7 kilometers. You start there, you have finished 200 meters.
Chip away at it. That's right.
You can play these mind games to keep disciplining yourself.
This conversation is making me wonder, because you've talked a lot about how you think about money, how you use money to make the world a better place for all of us and to incent other people to use money and create money for the same general purpose. What's the relationship of money like with you and your family members, especially as you started to generate money?
All the time I say, how you are raised, I believe ultimately you're going to behave. What you see around you, the experiences, when you hear your mother talking about money, when your father talk about money, your uncles, the environment, as I said, I was brought up in a refugee mindset, survival. Keeping money, spending money was very important. Saving money was very important. So I give you an example. My children, when they were born, we were rich.
They didn't have the same experience that you did.
No way. No. Of course, only at a younger age. Then my father, he managed to survive and go. So I believe in the term to earn it. My son, when he wanted to move from the school he was in to go to the American school, he was maybe in 7th grade or 6th grade. I asked him to write me why. Because the American school is more expensive. So he started linking that I need to get more return on stuff. Why would you pay more to go to the American school? So he identified the reasons why. So more or less, in the consultant, he wrote me the business case in his own words. Because maybe there were more nicer girls there. Then, when he was in the UK studying, I gave him a fund, small fund, to invest in the stock market. But I had one condition. He needs to tell me why this stock. I know it was a game. So the idea, I planted in them that whenever you spend, you need to be comfortable with the why. So we are not careful with money, but we love the why because it has to have meaning.
It does.
Yeah, it's coming through loud and clear in this conversation, which I appreciate.
And Maher, I'm wondering, how do you think discipline and money relate?
All the time I debate this. I believe you can create your own luck. Some people disagree. To me, luck is like a net. The more you have, the net is wider, the luckier you get. Of course, I want to create meaning. So by being disciplined, you know I have to have the luck chase. I need to go out there and meet people, interesting people. That's why I enjoy people. I make it a point to meet people because through people, you get opportunities. Not immediately, it's proven to me. And there is more into the luck chase, studying, knowledge, all of that. The other one is the lucky mindset. I believe I am lucky. I know I am lucky because I am an optimistic person. Of course, I am wounded inside because of my loss, but I believe I am a lucky person because I have this mindset of I am lucky, I am optimistic. I spot opportunities more than others. I want to refer you to a simple research on this topic, if I may.
Sure.
They brought in 2 groups of people. They said, who thinks he's lucky? They put them in one group. And who thinks they are not lucky? They put the other group. And they gave them one each, the same magazine. And they asked them, can you count how many pictures are in this magazine? So the unlucky people started looking. They went through the whole magazine and said, 67 pictures. The lucky people on the 5th page, they were big statement. Stop counting. There are 67 pictures in this magazine. They caught it in 2 minutes.
It changes your perspective.
It is, yes. So the mindset. So to me, this is the discipline that I have. I believe when I invest, I need to do my homework. Of course, there is gut feeling, of course, but I need to do that. Doing my homework is discipline. It is directly proportional to making money.
Maher, tell us, what's your next money conversation going to be and who's it going to be with?
I have my own personal fund. I am an angel impact investment fund. It's an angel in nature. I like to write early checks up to $100,000. But I am very focused on stuff like education and the future of work, mental health, and the environment. I am an investor in a global outfit called Transcend Network. It is a virtual accelerator in the same space that I like education and future of work. They bring in every 4 months 30 entrepreneurs from around the world. They take them through a program to achieve product market fit. So I'm going to invest in the bigger fund with them so we can invest more in these entrepreneurs. To me, these guys, Transit Network, they are doing my disciplined work of validating, scouting, experiencing, watching how these entrepreneurs work. They are the fund, and then I co-invest with them. So I'm being smart about it because I'm a frugal person. I want to achieve more with less. So they do all the hard work. I come in and pick and choose rather than do all the hard work.
You're smart, you're disciplined, and you are making a global impact. Maher, would you share with our listeners, where's the best place for them to find you?
The best is on LinkedIn. I started to become more active there because I wanted to promote my book, The Art of Leapfrogging. And also, I have a website where I share my thinking. And this is where I have videos talking about my principles and examples. I'm going to be launching a new book about the falafel theory. You know falafel?
I know falafel.
I have a theory in social change, scaling social solutions inspired by falafel. So I have my own falafel theory. So this is my next book.
Oh man, this sounds like a great book. And I love, once again, it's bringing it back to the flavor and the taste of things, which I love. Maher, it's just been an absolute pleasure speaking with you on Money Tales today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Money Tales podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with someone you think would benefit from listening. And leave us a review on your favorite podcasting platform. Your ratings and reviews help more people find our podcast. If you're inspired to gain clarity and peace of mind about financial matters, don't hesitate to reach out to our team at Aspirient. Go to aspirient.com/start a dialogue. Or you can email Sandy and me at podcasts@aspirient.com. See you next time.